Well, we've got another economic bust for Joe Biden. Inflation now sitting at a 40-year high. Everyday items like your groceries, your clothing, your rent, your energy, all seeing major spikes. So what impact is this having on businesses and consumers? Let's bring in our business panel. Daniel Turner is the executive director of the Power of the Future. Corey Shaker is the owner of the Shaker Auto Group, and Pat LaFrieda is the CEO of Pat LaFrieda Meat Purveyors. So, you know what? And when you look at your three industries, for instance, Daniel, the price of fuel up 41%. Joe Biden says this is transitory. I don't think it's transitory, Daniel.
Yeah, we went from inflation being transitory to now we hear a lot about how it's actually good for the economy. Look, as you make energy hard to produce, which Joe Biden has done, he has really made the supply dwindle, and therefore prices of energy have gone through the roof. And all of those prices have been passed on to consumers, from meat, from anything that is produced, manufactured, transported. All those prices get passed on to consumers, and that is driving this inflation crisis.
Sure. And Corey, I don't have to tell you, I talk to my friend Todd, the car guy, all the time. He could sell more cars if he could get them, but it's all about supply and demand. And for a variety of reasons, look at that. The price of used cars up almost 40%. This is something you're facing every day. That's why people are calling you on the phone saying, hey, Corey, do you have cars today?
That's true. We get calls from out of state, from 2 and 3 hours away, just checking the availability of the new and used cars. True.
Yeah, exactly. Because with the chip shortage, over the last year or so, because so many of the chips are made in Asia, it's been hard to build the cars because there weren't any chips. But Pat, when we all go to the grocery store and, it was 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and we saw, hey, where's all the beef? Part of that problem, it wasn't that there weren't enough cows, there weren't enough people to process it. And that's why the price of ground beef went up 13%.
Right. There were times in our industry where there were only 50% of the workforce because people were paid to stay home. They were told to stay safe and stay home. That had a ripple effect on top of and compounded by the surge of fuel. Fuel now is going to be the leading factor in high pricing. Not just diesel for trucks, but also natural gas for fertilizer.
Right. Well, the White House, they don't have a little egg on their face. They've got a whole omelet on there, and that's why they brought in Brian Deese, one of their economic advisors, and he tried to explain their way out of it. Listen to this.
We've seen a number of unanticipated outcomes. When it comes to prices, what we have said consistently, focused consistently, is that this is a global phenomenon. It is connected to the pandemic. Certainly, the supply chain challenges that have evolved over the course of time through the Delta variant and over the course of the fall.
Right. And Daniel, part of it is the supply chain, but also part of it is the administration was caught flat-footed, not realizing how quickly the demand would return as we are on the back slope of the Delta wave.
Yeah, and these are not unanticipated consequences. Anyone who understands the way the economy works knows that when you tinker with it at the very fundamental levels, which is what they have done in my industry and energy from their very first day in office, they have put in multiple efforts and regulations and rules to curtail the production of energy in this country. So these consequences are not unintentional. This is exactly what is going to happen when you have these political policy decisions that are not based on science, fact, economics.
Right. And Corey, would it help folks like you in the car business if the government helped you or if the government got out of your way?
Well, on a local level, we're so highly regulated, and particularly in Connecticut, the regulations in Connecticut in particular just seem to be so unfair. They do block and curtail a lot of the things that we try to do. There's no question.
Sure.
Yes.
And Pat, as part of our food supply with Pat LaFrieda, and you have the best burgers, I'm just saying, in the Northeast. What do people have to look forward to over the next couple of months regarding the price of our food?
The USDA has just published what it's going to cost to transport all products, meat products, produce, from the West Coast to the East Coast, or from the center of the country towards the East Coast, and that's another 14% increase. A lot of that has to do with regulation on what it takes to get a CDL license, to find drivers that will transport this product. For the first time in history, it will cost more money for the transportation of, say, cantaloupes to the East Coast than what the cantaloupes are actually worth. So meat's not too far behind that.
That is just crazy. It is scary. And how did we get here this quickly? People are asking themselves that question every day. Daniel Turner, Corey Schaefer, Pat LaFrieda. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.